Good morning, everyone. I'm Kaye here on my Tennessee homestead, and today we're going to talk about where do you draw the line? There was a short video that circulated. It looked like a professor type situation in a classroom. He was just saying, where do you draw the line? And look what we've been through in the last 2 years. And you may be thinking, oh, because they've relaxed some of the mandates that, things are going to get good again and things are going to be great. And you have to look at history and realize that once you give your power to the government, even a little bit, they don't give that back. They might just float those mandates or whatever back and forth a little bit, but they don't give power back that you have willingly turned over to them. So, and that's what we did as a country. And of course now all this truth is coming out, even by the people who instituted these mandates. The people that actually were at the top are saying, oh no, we knew that would never work. We knew that didn't work. So you have to really be discerning. And if you believe in God, God tells us to be discerning. And the teacher, professor, not sure, but he kept backing up into a corner and he said, is this where you draw the line? Is this where you draw the line? And he named off a number of examples of losing rights and property and all of this. And when they come for I don't know what he said, when they come for your children, is that where you draw the line? And he goes, it's everyone's personal decision. You have to know in your own mind where that line is. What line will you not cross? So I just want to put that out there for you to really think about today. If you haven't, what is the line you won't cross? I would like to propose or suggest that the line is, the CBDC is the line that we cannot cross. And if you don't know what CBDC is, please do some research. As always, don't believe me, do your own research. But CBDC stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. And the current administration, the president, signed an executive order in March of this year. It was broad-reaching and has a lot of things about surveilling us, and also it covers the digital currency. Now, it's right in the name, Central Bank Digital Currency, which means the currency would be controlled by the central bank. Now, what does that mean? I'm just going to, just for the people who don't really have know anything about it, just in the simplest terms, our dollar is in real trouble. You know what's happening with the energy crisis around the world, and our dollar has been accepted around the world as the petrodollar. How they did business with oil for decades. Now, other people who really know the history probably know exactly what year that started and all of that. But I'm just giving you the broad strokes, not the fine details. The digital currency would replace the dollar. And of course, we talked about they in one of my last videos. They being the Mr. Global, the people that are in charge of the world's money are behind all of this. So they are affectionately referred to as Mr. and Mrs. Global. And so, Mr. and Mrs. Global, imagine a world where the central bank controls all the currency, and there is no cash, there are no credit cards, no more lending, no more borrowing. And if you think that this is just too fantastical, that this would never happen here, this system is in place right now in China, right now. And I believe Italy just passed it also. Now it's going to be called different things in different countries, but in Italy I think they're calling it the Green Pass. Like I said, do your research, but in the broad strokes, you lose all power of your own money, which means also your property. But just in terms of your money, you would get an account. This is how they imagine all of us cooperating. You would have an account. They would give you a universal basic income. You've heard of UBI, I'm sure. And that's what that stands for. And so let's just talk broad numbers. Let's just say they give you $5,000 a month in your account. And as long as you don't cause any trouble and you do what they say, meaning you go a certain distance from your house, or you buy only one meat burger a month, or you see what I'm getting at. It's completely going to be controlled. And if you get to a store, say for example, they say you can't leave within 5 kilometers. They actually imposed this in Australia during the lockdowns. You could not travel farther than 5 kilometers from your home. And if you were caught outside of that, you got fined. You got all of these fines. So just imagine that you decided you really wanted to go down to this farm to get some fresh vegetables, and it's 10 miles from your house. And you get down there and you give them your card and it won't work. Or if you go into a store and you buy something that you've already bought 5 times that month and it simply doesn't work. And that's all you have is that card. Now, they have already changed the card into facial recognition. In China, you go into a store and you put your face in front of a screen and it reads it, and if it approves the purchase, they give you the purchased item and you leave. Now, what is that about? What all of it is about is control. Okay? So once we give up cash, and I think I've talked about this in another video, this can be easily rolled in. Remember when we all just naively saw technology as a way to make our lives more convenient? You've got a watch on your wrist and it tells you your heartbeat, and it tells you how many steps you've taken during the day, and you can keep track of everything. And well, guess what? While you're keeping track of everything, they're keeping track of your everything. So you have to understand all of that. And this has all been taught, 1984, George Orwell. So if you don't remember that book from high school, might want to reread that. So CBDCs. So I'm at the fair judging the apple pie contest, and a state representative from our state, obviously, has done the apple pie contest for a few years, and he was back, and I managed to get about 5 to 10 minute conversation with him afterwards. And I had already asked myself, if I had that opportunity, what is the one question I would ask him about? And it was CBDCs. And he said bankers are very worried about it. And he has been meeting with bankers all over the state, and they're very concerned because this is a possible scenario. An independent bank says, well, we want to open a new branch in such and such. And there's all this paperwork and obviously, there's got to be tons of things that hoops have to be jumped through in order to do something like that. But at the bottom line, every bank and every branch has to have the FDIC approval. The FDIC supposedly insures your savings or your account up to $250,000. That's what they've always said. If there's a run on the banks, I don't know if the government's really going to, who knows, pay all that money. I don't mean to frighten you, but really do your research. this one bank had all the paperwork in, for all the T's were crossed and the I's were dotted. They contacted the FDIC or whoever's in control, and they said, well, we want you to do such and such. I don't know what it was, but it was just something that they didn't have to do, didn't want to do, but they were saying, we want you to do this, and then we'll give you, we'll approve it. So this is how it works, The government is becoming more and more and more controlling. After talking to him, we were walking around the fair and I saw a booth of a bank where I have an account. And there were 4 nice looking people standing outside that were handing out something. So I thought, I have an account there. I'm going to go over and just talk to these people. And they're, let's just say 28 to 38 age range. And I walked up, I said, what are you giving out? And they said, candy. Like that's, I just thought it was just so weird. But anyway, there's so much food at the fair. You thinking then they're giving out like Halloween candy? I don't know. It just seemed odd. But anyway, I said, let me ask you something. Now that I have your attention, what is, do you know what CBDCs are? No clue. No clue. I said, you work at the bank and you don't know what a CBDC is? Nope, nobody knew. And I said, well, let me ask you this. Do you know what the Great Reset is? Because, now, even people who don't know what it is have probably heard the expression because, it's everywhere. So, no, hadn't heard of that. And I'm just going, wow, what has happened to that age? What are they focused on when they're not working? It's their future. You and I, if you're my age or up, we can probably squeak by, but we want to leave a world that's, where our children and grandchildren have some kind of freedom. If you're new to my channel, I have been on YouTube since 2012. I premiered on Earth Day. I started out in California in a very small garden. I came back to my home state. Many people have asked me, you don't sound like you're a Tennessean. Well, I lived in the big cities for 40 years and I purposely lost my accent because I was an actor and I had to be able to play a lot of different roles and I couldn't go in going, hey y'all, how y'all doing today? I could. Holly Hunter managed to get away with it, and that's why I don't have a strong accent, although I do have more of an accent since I've gotten back here. I'm deep into food preservation and I'm jumping into canning tomatoes. I'm going to make tomato sauce today and can the sauce. I'm going to try to accomplish that today. And as well as I need to cut off some more corn and freeze it. So I hope that's helpful. I hope it gets you to think, there is good news. The good news is, if you've read the Bible, in the end, God wins. So pray. Be sure and pray because prayers are powerful and we want to pray for our country, pray for our government to, like I said last time, to see the light and to say, wait a minute, we serve the people. The people do not serve us. So with that thought, I hope you have a great day. Please leave me a comment if this has been helpful. If you would like to see more videos like this, we have to be careful on this platform. We can't dive too deep, but I do want to bring things to your attention in case you missed it. And I just want to spread the word so that we are a powerful community. So God bless you. Look forward to those food preservation videos. Subscribe if you're interested in building a sustainable homestead. And I'll see you in the next video. God bless.